Good morning. Today is Thursday, August 14th, 2014, and this is Before the First Cup with Zori and Lady Pitbull on UCY.TV. Good morning, lady.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm good.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I just wolfed down my entire breakfast before that freaking intro got done.
Oh, my gosh. Wait, you just swallowed it whole, in other words?
Almost. That's pretty funny.
Not healthy, but yeah.
Yeah, I had to hurry.
Oh, boy. So, you getting ready for your vacation?
I am. I'm getting really excited. I'm leaving on Monday, so...
Where are you going?
I'm going up to our house up north on the lake, on Lake Michigan. And, it is awesome up there. We have, we got a long beach, like the length of a football field. It's not like the width of a football field, but it's definitely the length.
Uh-huh.
And, it's my grandfather, my grandparents made they found that place and they were like, yes, we'll take it. You know what I mean? And it was a very wise investment. It really was.
Oh, yeah.
I'm excited.
Anywhere by water right now is great.
Yeah, I bet. Especially where you're at.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But, of course, we've been inundated with big rains here. People's basements got flooded. There was a 100-year-old lady who died in her flooded basement on Monday, and oh my God, it's just...
Oh, that 100-year... Yeah, I've seen that.
Yeah. I read that yesterday, man. Oh my gosh, it's just terrible over here. It's been just... And now it's like all blue skies and sunny, and, you know, it's not like anything ever even happened. I mean, all the roads are back open, and the waters have receded, but geez, it was terrible on Monday here.
Wow. And look at, we still have, wait, I got 3 drops of rain on my car Monday. That was it.
Oh my God.
I mean, the clouds came in, and then they started spraying really heavy to where you couldn't even see the clouds. They were spraying low underneath and never got any moisture at all.
Yeah, that's weird. I was listening to the Weather Channel, and just briefly, and they happened to say that, yeah, there's thunder and lightning going on, but there's no freaking rain in California. Mm-hmm. I'm like going, what? How the hell can that be possible?
Right, and you could feel it, because it's not humid here unless it's raining. Mm-hmm. And it was so humid and sticky, and you just, you know when it's going to rain, you could smell it. You could just feel it before it starts. We got that feeling. Everybody said, yeah, we're going to, can you feel that? And nothing.
Nothing. God. I know, for the past 2 days, New York and the East Coast have been dealing with the same kind of flooding that we went through. And, I don't know if Jules personally got it. I think she's like, in an elevated spot, so, I'm pretty sure she didn't get flooded out. But, I mean, the rain is just nuts. We were talking about all the mold and stuff from the rain and all the algae floating in the river. It was just, ugh.
Yeah, and I don't know. It's never been like this, you know. I mean, we've had droughts before, but never this long and devastating, you know. And my garden, I went out yesterday, and I haven't got hardly anything off my garden. I think last year I got squash and broccoli and all this stuff well into the fall, and I've only got 4 squashes out of my garden. And
you're not even allowed to water, are you?
You're allowed to water if you have a shut off, and you can go water right at the plant, and then, you know, and that's it. And I have elevated, so mine's in a box, most of it, and, you know, 1 foot squares. So it doesn't take a lot of water to water mine. But it's just not producing. And my tomato plant never even flowered.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, a lot of people are complaining about the same thing. So, you know, the pH is off, and mine's not even down in the ground. And I don't know.
That's
It's
terrible.
really strange. Yeah, it is really. And the season's almost over, and I've got 4 squash.
Oh my goodness.
So I
That's
don't
just
know.
a travesty.
And a lot of people, people are going to start feeling the effects of this across the United States real soon because the farmers, hardly any farmers were able to plant this year.
Yeah, that's really a bad deal. Especially, and that's going to come in the form of prices going skyrocketing for every little thing we buy.
Yep,
So,
it is.
yeah, it's a bad deal. But here in the Midwest, it's been pretty damn good growing season. Still, I mean, the trees are starting to turn because it's only freaking 61 out there right now.
Are you seeing trees dying from the top out there?
No. But they think that we're going into fall right now, and some of the smaller ones are turning colors already, which is in the middle of August. It's like
wow,
smack dab in the middle of August right now. It should be like the hottest. Apparently it's supposed to get warmer next week, which is good for me because I'm going to be on the lake, so I hope it's going to be in the 80s all week next week at least.
Oh, yeah, and then, well, who cares if it's humid? You could just go out and get in the water.
Right, exactly. And, there's a pretty nice breeze coming off the lake there, usually. So, I'm going all by my lonesome. I'm going to be there all by my lonesome. But
I think that's cool, though, to be, you get some self-time, because everyone needs that.
Yeah, absolutely. Be me and my doggy. Yeah. She loves it.
Especially out in the woods, I don't mind being by myself. It's just such a peaceful, time. And I've always loved the woods. I grew up in the woods, and it's home.
Yes.
Yeah. And even the animals here, I mean, we're seeing more and more. Coyotes have even been coming down off the mountain. The creeks are drying up, and animals are being seen closer and closer to the city, coming down for water and food.
Wow.
So not just the people.
Yeah, that's bad when that happens. I mean, because a lot of really, bad interactions happen in those kinds of circumstances.
Well, yeah, people down in the city, even though the mountain is so close, they're not used to bears or coyotes or whatever, and they panic. And I don't know, it could get really bad. The more the animals have to come down further and further they're coming more down to the lake, where usually they get their water and stuff from up at the creeks.
Jeez. That's bad.
Yeah, so
I'm trying to keep up the chat room. I need to stop doing that. But it's so much fun with those darn smileys that you get, so thank you publicly for that. I love those things.
They are fun, aren't they?
Yeah, man, I can't stop messing with it.
Oh no, you have an addiction.
I do, a smiley addiction. A chat and go smiley addiction, oh no. But it's wonderful. I mean, it makes for a colorful chat, and I just love it.
I'm glad. Joy to people, something small can bring us so much joy.
Yes. Yeah. Yes, enjoy the little things. Absolutely. I think that's there's that movie called Zombieland, and that's one of the rules that are in it, because they've got rule number 1, rule number 24, rule number 53. Enjoy the little things.
Oh yeah, I'm glad I'm easily amused, and I am. I mean, simplest things make me happy.
Yeah, me too. And
like a go-kart. Oh my god, we had fun yesterday.
Did you ride that damn thing again?
And I was going up the street, and I turned around, and then it died on me, and so I'm off of it, and I'm checking the choke, and a cop drives by, and I just look. He had slowed way down by me, and I just looked at him. And then I went on like I was working on it, and you're not supposed to be out on the road with it.
Oh,
got that thing going.
That's great, man.
All my neighbors are waving. I'm going, yeah. After I did my work, I got to go play on my toy. I love things.
Did you buy it?
Oh no, it's mine, but it stopped working. And my friend, the one that passed recently, he put a brand new engine on it and got it all running and everything. And then they just delivered it a couple days ago, and it's just awesome.
That's great, man.
I listen to kids around here. I swear, I have my remote cars. I have my big 4-wheel drive remote car, and I'm going up hills and stuff.
That's awesome. I mean, really, that's what life's all about. Is
Yeah, I love doing things like that. And like, in fact, my friend is supposed to be down here sometime next month, and we make trails out in my field for the remote cars and have races. And
oh, that's fun.
oh yeah, I love it.
Oh my gosh, that's great.
I make a track to race my go kart on all through the field.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
Except for the problem that it won't start in neutral, and I'm having a hell of a time. And I pull it, and it gets started. It's got a lot more power now. And I'm holding on to the pulley, and it's dragging me. I'm going, wait for me!
Oh no! Does it lurch forward when it goes in?
And I hear I'm chasing my go kart. So finally, I got a tire and put it right up to it so I could ease off of it after I jump in.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
That's a good idea. Good for you.
Good.
Oh,
That's
gosh.
fun for me yesterday.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
How awesome is that? That's totally great.
Yeah, it is. I love it. So.
You have a lot of fun. I love that about you.
Well, you can't not have fun. If you don't have fun, you'll get sick more. You know, I mean, why are we here if not to enjoy this time? You know,
exactly.
Fight, but you have to have the good times. You have to have that balance, or you'll lose it.
Absolutely. If you take life too seriously and never ever have a good time, you go on vacation and you're still working. You know what I mean? What good is it? I mean, it doesn't do you any damn good. You're gonna freaking die in your 60s or 70s, and you know what I mean? It's just not fun. And then you're dying an old bitter pill because you never had fun in your life.
And you know, you gotta have good memories.
Yeah.
When you get older, all you have left is your memories, and if you don't have any good, awesome memories, it's going to be a very lonely, ugly time.
Yeah, and I actually would rather have had a really great time through my life, and then, you know, if I did get older and if I did not remember anymore, I mean, I would rather, you know, not remember the good times than never have a good time and remember all the bad times. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you know, I think it's important. And besides, I can't help myself. I mean, you know, when ATVs or go-karts or motorcycles, if they're around, man, hey, you can't hold me back. My friend comes and takes me for rides on his Harley all the time, and we go up to the mountains. I love the mountain ride, that curve.
You're so lucky. I want somebody to give me a ride on a freaking Harley, man. I'm dying for a ride.
Yeah, he's got an awesome one, and he's one of the only people I really, really trust with my life completely. Mm-hmm. You know, and it's so beautiful. You know, going up to the mountains, through the mountain roads.
Oh, I bet.
Yeah.
I bet. Oh, my gosh. See, that's neat.
I'm not riding in the city, though. That's one thing I will not do. I will not ride on the back of a motorcycle in the city.
Why is that?
Because people are insane.
That'll give you.
Yeah, but, yeah. It's sad though that last time we went up, I mean, the trees are all dying, and they're all dying from the top.
Top down?
Yeah, it's just, you know, and the bark is just falling off of them. I was at my landlady's last week, and we were in her garden in the back, and I couldn't believe the bark that's just, and on trees that bark doesn't fall off of.
Yeah,
you know? It's just, it's terrible.
Man.
And you know, that's from like the soil. That's the pH and shoot on the soil. I need to get mine tested because it just ain't right. I've always had a good garden.
Yeah, see, it's and being like close to the mountains like that, you would think that you would have some pretty good darn soil, but not with all the damn spraying going on.
I know. And I tried to keep my compost, under plastic most of the year last year while I was forming it, trying to keep the chemtrail debris off, but I don't know. I don't know, but it ain't good because I was all ready to be canning. I bought my pressure canner and everything.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah.
Now you don't have anything to put in it. I mean, you're all ready, but you don't have anything to... Jeez, that's just travesty there.
Yeah. For squash. I'm going down to the farmer's market this morning after the show, though. And we have a really good farmer's market.
Yeah, we do too. I'm going on. Today is our farmer's market, too, here in town. But the next town over has one on Saturday, and that's where all the organic beef and chicken is, so I'm going to both.
Yeah. I just found out how to can bacon. It's real
No!
Really? I love bacon. I can't give that up.
Oh, my God. Really? I've never even heard of that before. Canning bacon?
Oh, you can can your meats.
I know that, but I've never even heard of canning bacon.
Oh, it's so easy. All you do is fold it in parchment paper, put it, and then fold it, around, and then you stick it in the jar, and you pressure cook it for under 15 pounds for 30 minutes. It's done.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's it?
Mm-hmm. That's it.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Wow.
Almost the same with chicken and stuff. I mean, but you have to have a pressure cooker. Mm-hmm. But, yeah, it's not hard. A hamburger you cook first, and then you do it. But, yeah, I've learned a lot. And then I just found the neatest YouTube on eating wild edibles.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, yeah. I mean, this guy goes through them. He has them all down on this white paper, the name of them. He shows them to you, describes them all to you. I mean, it's awesome.
What's the name of that video on YouTube?
It's Wild Edibles with Sergey Bolinko. And 4 parts to it.
Four parts.
Yeah, and I remember I posted it somewhere about a year ago. But this could save your life. I mean, this guy shows you almost everything that's out there and edible, and he really describes everything real well and what's for medicinal, and most of it grows all over the United States, not just in sections.
Oh my God, that's so weird. I put in wild edibles into the YouTube search engine.
Uh-huh.
And I see the one you're talking about, but the first one that comes up is Ann Arbor Dispensary. What the hell?
Oh, really? Yeah. And they sell? Oh, because... Huh? Oh, you guys have medicinal...
Yes.
Oh, okay, I get it now. Duh.
All right.
Yeah, you should post that link, though. Everyone should watch this video and get to know the things that, if it comes down to it, you can eat and survive.
Yeah, I'm going to subscribe to this sucker right now. All right, there we go. And I will also put it in the chat room. Hooray!
Yeah, I mean, I've watched it 4 or 5 times to get this into my head, what things...
Nice. That's cool. That's the way it should be done.
Mm-hmm. But, and he goes through this kid is he's very, very knowledgeable. And he's been eating them most of his life.
He looks young, too.
He is young. Yep, and he tells you the medicinal, where you find them. And, I mean, I like it because it's not like looking at pictures. He actually goes through and brings the leaf up. It shows you exactly, so there's no error in, picking up the wrong thing to eat.
Neat.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
totally
and he eats mostly that. He decorates his pies and stuff with wild flowers that you can eat and stuff.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, sometimes, I mean, you can eat dandelions and stuff like that.
But, I mean,
backyard.
Yeah, and there's a lot of them in there, the last one in the first part, I think. It's this one plant that grows up, and we have it all over my field, and he says the whole plant is good. So,
Neat.
Yeah. And dandelion, yeah, like you said, dandelions, and there's some, and mustard, wild mustard, and so many. As he was saying it, I go, oh, we have that. Oh, I know that plant. Oh, okay, I can eat. I'll be plenty of food here.
That's awesome.
If the weeds don't stop growing, you know.
Right, exactly.
Yeah. Because I'm sure that the pH being off, it's going to affect different wild plants too.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. It's going to affect the whole damn garden.
Yeah. So, anyway, it's just, I don't know. And it's crazy because people down south don't even act like there's a water shortage or anything.
How come?
Well, because they have plenty of water. They're frosted, so it comes in. Like I told you, on my trip back up, the canals where they take the water down south from up here, full, all the way to the brim.
That's what you were saying.
Mm-hmm. So, they get plenty of water.
Something's inherently wrong with that.
Yeah. But, anyway. Okay, well, should we hit some news?
Sure. I don't have anything ready, but...
Okay. Well, this really pissed me off.
There you go.
I'm so sick of this. Police taser 8-year-old girl when babysitter calls for help. Okay.
Jeez.
Yeah. And Pierre, South Dakota, the use of force on a child sparked controversy after an 8-year-old girl was tasered following an apparent suicide threat. The incident occurred when a babysitter phoned police on October 4th, 2013, saying the young girl she was supervisor wouldn't put down a knife and was threatening to hurt herself. 4 Pierre police officers arrived and confronted the girl, identified only as LMJ. She was holding a 4.5-inch paring knife found in the kitchen. The force used to quell the situation has drawn varied reactions and has prompted a lawsuit to be filed against the Pierre Police Department by the girl's mother. Officers only spent seconds trying to reason with the 70-pound girl, according to the complaint, before putting her into a high-voltage submission by firing the sharp prongs of a taser weapon into her chest from roughly 5 feet away. The force of the electricity shot through her body, lifted her, and threw her against the wall, the suit alleges. The defendant's name in the lawsuit are the city of Pierre, South Dakota, former Pierre chief Robert Grand Prix, and the 4 officers who were at the scene. Officials backed the officers, as usual, use of force, and the South Dakota Division of Criminal Investigation ultimately ruled that the police had acted appropriately and found no wrongdoing. But Mrs. Steinstrom did not appreciate that finding and described the incident as excessive force. How much harm could you have done, Mrs. Steinstrom asked? No, how much harm could she have done? She and her attorney, Dana Hanna, argued that police could have used other means to remove the knife from her hands. One officer distracts her, another grabs the girl's arm. That's what they should have done, Hannah said. She had a kitchen paring knife, but hadn't cut. She was a kid throwing a tantrum. They should have made an attempt to grab the kid, not use a weapon to throw her against the wall. A taser not meant to kill, but it does. Many people have died after being hit by a taser by cops. It never should be used on a little child. She certainly wasn't presenting danger to the police officers. The mother describes the girl as suffering and pain the entire night from the taser shock and being punctured by the sharp probes. She was not wounded by the knife. I mean, I thought they trained officers, full-grown policemen couldn't just get a little paring knife from a kid that's throwing a tantrum.
That is absolutely in-freaking-sane.
It is. I mean, like she said, there was 4 of them. One couldn't distract her. It was a paring knife. It wasn't even a butcher knife.
I'm laughing. I mean, I shouldn't laugh. Damn it. Come on.
Shoot those electrodes right into her chest. That's where your heart is. and throw her against enough voltage to throw her against the wall. An 8-year-old, and no wrongdoing.
Oh my God. I think these freaking officers need more training in hand-to-hand combat and not being afraid of their own shadows. What are we doing? Why are we why do they hire like guys that like are scared to death to go up?
I think a lot of them aren't scared. I think a lot of them just like shooting people.
Yeah, that too.
Yeah, it's the mentality of it. Like that one video with that lawyer that I posted a while back, where she was out there protesting police brutality, and they shot her with rubber bullets. But the thing was, after that was over, the captain up there laughing and saying, "Hey, whoever got that woman in the red jacket, hey, that was funny, man," especially when they hit her in the head, and all the cops are laughing. That's the mentality out there. You know, it's just, you know, they don't get reprimanded, and then after they do it over and over and over, hey, you know, I guess like in war, after you shoot so many people, it don't matter to you anymore.
Yeah, I mean, it's true. It's just a damn travesty is all. What do you say to this? I mean...
And you know, by them always saying, oh, they acted appropriately, they didn't do anything wrong, it just gives the other officers a license to kill anytime they want.
That's the precedence for everybody else coming down the line, so... Mm-hmm. And that's I mean, it doesn't affect you until it happens to you, or someone you know.
Oh, most people. Yeah,
now they're just going after kids. I mean, that's just, you know what I mean? There's no distinguishing between like a criminal or anyone else for that matter.
Yeah. And you know, it's just like them shooting that kid down in Missouri. I mean, all the witnesses say that, you know, that cop, I mean, he shot him first and then kept shooting at him, and just for jaywalking, you know, and then it's too bad they riot. If they didn't riot, if they just went out in force, you know, but looting and rioting from their own neighborhood, it doesn't help them at all. It's not going to change things. But if they would have just went out in force in the streets, you know, and just protested and demanded that the police do what's right against that police officer, they would get a lot more ground. But the looting and stuff takes away from their cause.
Well, sure it does, but that's, I mean, when you have developed an entire society that thinks that they are entitled to everything, you know, you're going to have problems. I mean, this is the kind of problems that are going to, you know, we're just going to take this shit. You know what I mean? I mean, that's pretty much the mindset. And
you know, too, when the rioting first started, you didn't see any cop cars there. None, not one.
Right.
Yeah. And
yeah,
so it's just
there
like
now.
For all of them.
And they're clamping down over there now, big time.
Yeah. Everybody's been, I guess, saying, what's Obama doing on vacation when his country's falling apart?
Right.
So he's supposed to be coming back. Oh, man, I wish he'd stay away.
He's out dancing and everything. He's out, I don't know. I guess he's out partying, you know? I mean, that's what the dude does.
Yep, every time, I mean, anything comes up, he goes. And it just, you know, that man, I don't know. It's just like, I'm left speechless anymore with him. He just, you know, I mean, he says one thing and within a half hour he does the other. And this whole ISIS thing, it's just insane. I mean, we were giving them their weapons and now we're going to go in and fight against them. Doesn't anyone realize the irony of this? You know, they want it back in Iraq and now they're going to be back in Iraq and more innocent people are going to die. Here we go, from one to the other. One leads to the other. I don't know. It's just cops here, they say they want to help people in other countries, but yet here our whole system's falling apart. And now all of our government's on vacation. Did I lose you?
No, I'm just talking with the freaking mute button on.
I'm wondering why I'm talking over you.
I'm talking, and I was talking the whole time.
Oh, no.
I forgot what I've said.
Yeah.
Oh, goodness, man. I just got my new essential oil vaporizer and herbal vaporizer in the mail yesterday.
Ah, okay. That explains a lot.
All right. Oh, no. Did I just say that? Yes, I did. So screw you, federal government. Oh, my goodness.
Nice, though.
Crazy. Absolutely nuts. I don't know. If you take your two fingers and stick it, like, on your shoulder, like, in the clavicle area, and there's a nerve that's there, right?
Mm-hmm.
And if you pinch that nerve, you can literally bring somebody down to their knees.
Yep.
Without hurting them, right? I mean, it hurts, right? But it's not like you're smacking them or punching them or tasering them.
Right. It's kind of like Spock's touch,
Exactly.
Yeah.
And, like, if there was an 8-year-old girl with a freaking butter knife, I don't care what she had. I'll tell you right now, I would be able to, like, take care of that and bring her down to her knees and say, okay, snap! And get a hold of yourself. Get a freaking grip. I mean, you don't have to call the damn cops. Why did?
And within seconds, I mean, they got there, and within seconds, they tasered her. They didn't try and talk her down. They didn't try anything. They just shot her with the taser.
All right. One of the first damn things that we learn in the self-defense class is verbal de-escalation. And as a police officer, my instructor, that's what he absolutely insists that we do. We've got to do that. And because that's what they teach him in the Washtenaw County Sheriff's Department is verbal de-escalation. First, you've got to try to de-escalate the situation on a verbal level. And literally, he told me a story of one of his colleagues that ended up shooting somebody because the officer was fighting and fighting and fighting with this guy, and he just couldn't fight anymore. He was at the point of exhaustion, at the point where he just, he just wanted to give up, and he had to draw a service weapon and shoot this dude. He didn't kill him, but he shot him to wound him, and then he was able to be subdued. But that is, I say, a justified shooting.
Right. I mean, this, it's like they're trained to pull their gun and shoot first, and it's society's fault for accepting all these excuses every time. And investigating police, excuse me, but give me a break. No wonder. What do you expect when you have that happening?
Exactly. Yeah, that's not so great. The police investigating themselves. I mean, that's like Congress giving themselves raises. If you let them, they're gonna do it. Absolutely. And lobbyists and all this shit. It's gotten so accepted by people, that it's gonna be almost impossible to return it back. Right. Yeah. It's not impossible to return it back, but literally, it's going to be a lot more difficult because what they're doing is they're setting all the precedents so that they can, the next group that comes in that wants to run the world or whatever the hell, it won't get in trouble for it because, their predecessors didn't face any charges, or no feathers were rumpled, and everything was swept under the damn rug as usual, and that's what usually happens.
Yeah, I'm seeing more and more though people saying, well, we know that it's going to be a good shoot for them because the law is, investigating the law. And I'm starting to see it a lot in comments and stuff. People are getting tired of, like the Kelly Thomas and all these people being killed by police and then saying that they didn't do anything wrong. Excuse me, but, this is epidemic in proportions here, and people are starting to say, hey, wait a minute, why are we letting them do this? Like, then they bring in the FBI to investigate. Big deal. It's still law enforcement, people. Exactly.
I mean, I read a story like that just yesterday where the cops, shot, well, it was the shot, right, it was that Minnesota case now, the FBI is coming in to investigate. I mean, big deal.
Yeah, okay, FBI came in to Kelly Thomas's to investigate, and what, those cops got off.
Right, exactly. That's what happens when the FBI comes in to investigate cops.
They're as crooked as the rest of them.
Exactly, if not more so. I mean, there are some good guys. Not all cops are bad. Not all FBI guys are bad. You know what I mean? But it's, their track record, I gotta tell you, it sucks, guys.
If you're a good cop, you get forced off the force. I mean, I've had three personal friends that became cops, and because they wouldn't lie in court, or because they did things that right instead of, going along with the guy's stuff, they got pushed out. Finally they just had to quit. They didn't have anyone at their back. By the corrupt cops. So you either leave or you get corrupted.
Yeah, that's right.
Or if you're a good cop trying to do good out there, how can you stand by and watch what the other cops are doing? I mean,
sure.
It's not an environment friendly for a good cop.
No, not whatsoever. Not at all. And it's rather sad. I mean, it's just a sad situation, sad state of affairs out there.
Yeah. I think everyone should take a conscious look, and look at their police cars that used to say to protect and serve, and see how many of them still say that. Bet you not very many.
No, I don't think so.
They say police.
Yeah. It should say police, run for your life.
Mm-hmm. But, I mean, last night I was listening to, I forget what show on UCY, and the girl that was on there, I think it was Michelle, but she says, it's like what their police cars say, to protect and serve, and I wrote in there, maybe you better take a closer look, honey, because I doubt if it says that anymore. Their job is to enforce the law and make revenue.
Yeah.
Yep.
Maybe it should say that.
Yeah, huh? No, well, law enforcement.
Revenue generator.
Yeah.
That's what it should say.
And we're getting a new police building for the police department, so they're going to be out in force to get more money so that they can justify it.
Oh, you know it.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And it cracks me up. All these cities are always saying, well, we're short on police. We need to hire more police. But why? More police, we have a fully staffed police department in Reading up there, and there's just as much crime. They don't come till afterwards.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, so, why not just get more lawyers and leave the police out of it anyway?
There you go.
Yeah.
Jeez. I don't know, man. And every time, they get away with this, it just ratchets it up more and more and more, and this is how, these riots are going to just escalate and escalate and escalate, and they have purposely kept the identity of the officer that killed that guy in Missouri
Mm-hmm.
Or Montana, or
No, Missouri.
it's Missouri, and
Yeah.
I get those two mixed up. How stupid am I? But they're keeping the identity because the dude's most likely white, and if
Oh
it
yeah.
comes out that the dude was white and killed a black dude, then Al Sharpton and Jesse Jackson are going to like poop their diapers and like no justice, no peace, and all that. I mean, I do not agree with the killing of an innocent, poor little kid. And he was 18, so he was a little kid.
He was going to start college.
Start college and everything. I do not agree with that. But to turn this thing into a race thing, that is a big freaking mistake.
Well, there it is. I mean, there. It's like 15 to 1 who get arrested, whites and blacks. I mean, it's a bad neighborhood, and all, but that's no justification for killing a young person that's unarmed.
That's right.
Yeah,
it's really is about the cops and versus the citizen. That's what it's really about. It's not about race. It's
right, because they are killing white people too.
Oh, hell yeah. And tasering little, 8-year-old kids.
And told that it's okay, they did what they were supposed to, even when they get in the wrong house, the wrong address, and you go in and you murder someone in their bed, but nothing's going to happen to you because you did it like you were supposed to. Right. They don't even say they're sorry to these people.
Not at all. They don't apologize. They're not allowed to sue them. They're not allowed to. There's no repercussions, and they're put right back in the same position, same pay grade as they were before.
Mm-hmm. And a lot of it is their union.
Yes, the union. It's hard to fire somebody who's a member of a union. It's difficult.
Especially law enforcement. It is huge, and they're the ones that brought on the paid administration leave. It was the union that brought that.
Yes, absolutely. And I just think the unions are one giant freaking extortion racket. I was a member of a union once, and they just drain money out of your check whether you signed on or not.
Mm-hmm.
Strong arm tactics. I don't like that crap.
And they have huge lobbyists in Washington.
And I got fired from that job, and they didn't do a damn thing for me. They just appeared with me at the hearing or whatever, and they didn't do shit. The representative didn't speak up, didn't say a damn word the whole time, and it's just. And then I appealed to them after the firing happened. I actually literally called them. Can you help me? Can you help me? I mean, come on here. You guys haven't helped me at all. What am I paying you for? And they're like, sorry, we can't do anything to help you. Sorry, bye.
I know, and that's it.
Bastards. I was like, you know what? I am anti-union forever.
Yeah, unions were a good thing in the very beginning, but then they got corrupt, and yeah, it's just like what was I going to say? Like the Red Cross or any big function like that. When I hear people giving money to them, especially cancer, it just irritates me that they're buying those little pink bows and everything, but we're still using the same treatment for cancer that we have for the last 40 years. Where's all that money going that's supposed to be, curing it or at least finding a better treatment?
That's a huge point. I mean, it really is. I ask that all the time. I mean, at the gym where I go to, they had an event called Barbells for Boobs, which is kind of cute and everything. But they raised a lot of money, and for cancer screenings for what do they call that? Breast.
Oh, that mammogram?
Mammogram, yeah, for mammograms. And they were raising money for people who had low income could get a mammogram. And it's like, don't you understand? You get
radiated.
Yeah! You're being radiated for the test. You're being radiated for the freaking treatment. And it was probably radiation in some form or some way in the first place that got you the cancer in the first place. Or it was your freaking aluminum that's in your freaking deodorant, you know? It's just unfreaking believable. It's just, I don't know. They use radiation to detect it. They use radiation to screen for it. They use radiation to so-called cure
Right.
it.
You know, they have all these marches. I wonder how many billions of dollars they have gotten for research, and they're still treating it with chemo and radiation. I mean, come on. I won't give to any of them. I won't buy, and my friend goes on those marches stuff because she had cancer and she made it through. But you know what? That people don't follow them, and usually within 5 years they die of something else that the radiation or the chemo
Chemotherapy,
destroyed inside. You
right.
know?
I mean, I understand, like, and Kevin Blanche is coming on after us. I understand that the chemotherapy gave him a few more years. I get it. You know, I get it. But I also saw where chemotherapy completely destroyed a buddy of mine, and it completely ripped his intestines apart, like, and all of his bowels and stuff drained inside his whole body, and he turned yellow and died.
Yeah, I've watched 4 people personally that were close to me that as soon as they got on chemo, they just deteriorated, and very quickly. And who gives that strong a poison to a sick person?
Exactly. And I mean, they started it at the beginning of the week, and by the end of the week, he was gone. You know,
Yep.
I saw it. I watched it. And
instead of building the body up and trying to make it stronger, and you know, they're so against any home remedy. You know, it's got to be chemical. It's got to come through the chemical companies. But people, after all that money and all these years, when they're still doing the same procedure, don't you question where's all the money going?
I know. I mean, and there's a ton of money that gets raised for these pink
Relay for Life. And
yeah, man. Almost every freaking weekend somewhere in the United States there's one of these events happening. And
billions of dollars, and what do they have to show for it? Still using chemotherapy and radiation. Both of them deadly for the human body.
I mean, if we were so advanced, why, and you're right, it was a really good point that you brought up, why in the hell, if we are such an advanced society, why are we still using the same crap for cancer treatment as we did in the 60s and 50s?
Well, what disease can you think of that's been eradicated or cured?
Nothing.
No, all they do is manage your disease. They don't try and cure anymore.
Right.
Muscular dystrophy. The MS. They still don't have no clue as to what's causing it. But how much money have they made? It's all about the money. It's not about the disease or helping people.
Right.
It's sickening. I mean, it's just so sickening, and that people fall for it by the millions. You know.
Oh, I know. And I don't know. I can't. Susan G. Komen. I mean, how much does that organization raise? I mean, good God, man. I mean, you see these freaking pink ribbons all over the place, and it's like, and then, and in grocery stores, you know, you buy a product and part of the
at the register. Do you want to donate to this?
Yeah, that too. They must be just raking in billions and billions and billions. Where in the hell is all that money going? Because it sure as hell isn't going to freaking any kind of research
or a cure.
Yeah, the race for the cure my ass. I mean, they know plant-based materials, plant-based as opposed to petroleum-based or radioactive-based, works, you know, impeccably on cancers and stuff, but they're not going to allow us to have that crap.
Oh, yeah. You know, this one guy I watched, it was such a sad video of documentary, but about their little kid that got cancer, and as it turns out, they started giving the baby cannabis oil.
Yes.
And with that, did you see that? And not telling the doctors right away, really. But then the baby started getting better, and they thought it was going to die for sure. And when they told the doctors, because everybody was all happy until they told the doctors what they had been doing. They had been giving him the oil every day, got it, and it got him off of all the medications that were making him throw up and all that, and he was in remission. But as soon as they found out that they were giving him cannabis oil, they didn't want to talk about it no more.
Right.
You know,
exactly. And
yeah,
that film was done by Kevin Booth. Which was the late great comic Bill Hicks. That was his best friend, and Kevin Booth in it, and it's called American Drug War II: Cannabis Destiny.
That's right. Yeah, because I bought the DVD. That's right. That's when I watched it. Yeah, and I mean, you could see. I mean, if they wouldn't have put him through all that stuff in the beginning, and you see the way their treatment of him. Oh my God! And that's supposed to be humane.
Yeah, and by the end of that movie, you're just in tears. And
I know. Everyone should be able to see that, and then ask yourself, where's all the money going? You know, and those doctors, look at all the money the doctors are making by doing this, and the hospitals are making, and, you know, if it wasn't so financially good making thing, it would probably already be cured. They wouldn't be looking anywhere, you know, because it's like the Ebola. You know, they have vaccines for cancer and stuff because they don't create anything without having a vaccine,
right,
or something, you know, to counteract it. So, you know, there's been a cure for cancer for a long time.
Oh, hell yeah, I know that too. I mean, we don't know this for sure, but we can pretty much bet. It's a safe damn bet. But like I said, they know which plant-based materials kill cancer. They know this stuff.
Well, why do you think they patent the cannabinoids in cannabis?
That's right. I mean, they've done that for a reason too, and it's you know, these bastards are it's their fault, really, as far as I'm concerned. They're the ones killing everybody. They're the ones killing everybody. The whole medical establishment is nothing but like a giant meat grinder, really.
Right. You know, there's a video on YouTube, Cause No Harm.
Right.
And it is so good. I mean, it really puts it out there. And how, even if you don't, you know, if you say, I don't want my baby getting chemotherapy, you try and take your baby out of that hospital, you ain't making it. They're going to keep that baby there, and they're going to do what they want with that baby.
Oh, hell yeah. Believe me, I used to work in that crap hole. Not on the cancer ward, thank God, but I mean, we saw that stuff too. I mean, they just what they do is but it's all for the baby's safety. Don't forget it.
Right. And you see that. I mean, how can these doctors still believe in this treatment when they stand there and watch? All their patients once they start chemo, just dying. I mean, you know, you take a weak person who can't hardly get out of bed, that's in pain, and you give them poison. Sure, they're going to get well real quick.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah. And the doctors are being taught that, you know, it's going to be something that you will accept, you know, that you're not going to be able to save all these cancer patients, but we can try and make them comfortable. You know, they don't even try to cure anymore, I don't think.
No.
And hospitals, I don't know. There's some, like my friend that passed, me and his sister and I were talking the other night, and I mean, we went in, and after his surgery, after the motorcycle wreck, that doctor came in and told us he's going to have a long recovery because of, you know, damage done to his arm and stuff. And we left the hospital thinking, all right. And next day he's got kidney failure and liver failure. And I'm going, you know, where did that come from? And then the next day, they turned out the plug. And I don't get it. You know, I mean, he had damage to his arms and stuff. There was nothing done to his kidneys.
How did that happen? I mean,
he was in a motorcycle wreck, and they just, I mean, it mostly cut up his arm and cut tendons and stuff, and gonna have to have reconstruction surgery and stuff, but I don't know. And that's what next time we go in, these doctors are telling his kid that, well, we shouldn't probably try and save him because with all this that's going on, kidney failure, liver failure.
So who was the one that decided to pull the plug? His family? Because they can't do that.
His daughter was the one that was supposed to make the decision. But, I mean, I knew, I don't know. The doctors, they just made it sound so useless, and he's not going to make it.
Pointless. See, here's the thing. My mother is, like, she's the head of she's the clinical ethics director in the hospital close to here. And she has spent her whole life as a quote-unquote patient advocate. Okay?
Yeah.
In other words, she went to the bedside of the, patients that are like dying or near death or are on ventilators, and she would convince the families that it's, what are you doing? Is this a good quality of life for your loved one?
Mm-hmm.
Why are you keeping them? There's no hope here, blah, blah, blah. And, and they'd be holding on to their loved one, and I don't want to turn the machines off. No, no, no. And my mom would get in there and convince them otherwise. And but here's the thing, though. My mom believes with all of her heart and soul, that it's cruel and unusual to keep a body alive on a ventilator.
Right, and I agree with that part, if there's no chance for them to recover.
Yeah.
But how can they, in 2 days, say there's no chance for this guy?
Yeah, see, that's the part that messes me up the most, is they didn't even give it, some people have been in a coma for like years, and then they come out of it, and they're fine, and they're walking around, and they're talking, you know what I mean? And they're perfectly fine.
But he wasn't even in a coma. I still don't. And I'm not family, but I was sitting there when that doctor was saying, the kidneys have shut down, and the liver's shut down, and I said, wait, I don't understand that. Well, then they go into their technical terms.
Yeah, yeah.
And then you're sitting here, and I'm going, the doctor last night said he would have a long recovery, and it was nothing about his kidneys and his liver, and I don't know. It's just, and this seems to happen a lot, And he had insurance. He was a vet from Vietnam. He flew helicopters over there, so, it wasn't a matter of he couldn't pay. It was just, I don't know. It's like if it's going to be too much work, kill him off.
That's the mindset that's going on right now. And I think it's part of these damn Obama death panels that have, that were there long before that freaking health insurance was approved.
Right, and he was a vet, so they don't want to be spending money there.
Right, exactly. And for sure, the VA has death panels. That's been there for a long time.
Yeah.
Like way before all this happened.
I mean, he wasn't at Veterans Hospital, but he was in our regular hospital here, but it wasn't the money in his case. I can't figure it out, and neither can she, and see, his son died also in the same hospital, and I can't remember, he got in a wreck, but that was the same reason they gave for him, too.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
See, that's bizarre, man.
Yeah, and see, his son died just, 8 months before.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, it's been a rough year.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah.
That's a total travesty.
Mm-hmm. It's been rough here for the last, and then another dear friend of mine, the one I went to Texas to see, she passed.
Oh no!
Yeah, and so it's been really rough. It's hard to keep, spirits up when, I don't know, it's just, I guess that comes with getting older. You start losing close friends, and it's hard.
Oh, I know. I can't even. I lost a close friend recently too. So, and he really wasn't that close. He was, but I've known him since high school.
Yeah, and you're not. I wasn't prepared for this because I mean, throughout my life, I lost very few friends or family, and it just I don't know. I seem to take it harder than most. I don't know what it is, but
Well, that's grief and death and all of that. But it is part of the circle of life.
I know.
I lost one of my best friends, and what was weird was she was supposed to come up north to this house with me one year, and she was only 28 years old, and I had told her how much she meant to me before I went on to this trip that she was going to join us up there. There was like several friends coming up too, and I kept trying to get a hold of her. She wouldn't answer her phone. Why? Because she had died. And she was only 28 years old, but I told her, like, that she was my best friend and how much she meant to me and how much I appreciated her friendship before I went on that vacation. And that was the last things that I had said to her. And
yeah, you just remember the last. I mean, I'm glad we went and seen her when we did, and my other friend that just died recently in the motorcycle. I'd seen him the day before.
Oh my God, that's hard when you see him the day before, and then oh my God, they're not there the next day.
And I was the last one to speak to him in the emergency room too. Oh. And he just kept telling me, I'm crying like a baby, and he's saying it's going to be okay. I'm going to be okay. And then that. So I don't know. Just show the people that you love them. Tell them often.
Right, absolutely. I mean, because you just never know. You never know. This lady was like actually, I think she was 29 because she was just getting ready to celebrate her 30th birthday, like the next month after that, and they still don't know why or how she died. They just don't know. It wasn't like a brain tumor, no brain aneurysm, no heart attack, no stroke, nothing, and they can't. She was on meds, but they tested her blood levels and everything was normal, so they couldn't figure out why she died. She had her.
Looking at the chat, all the people that have been hurt by this, it's so sad.
It is.
I feel for all of them. Your mother. I mean, it's like everyone waits when their turn is going to come up to have cancer.
Yeah, exactly. It's not a matter of if, it's just a matter of when.
I mean, most people, if you talk to them, how do you think you'll die? Well, probably a cancer.
Right.
Not old age or anything, for sure. And all the people that are hurt and watch their parents, their moms or dads or loved ones dying of cancer, and no one holds them accountable for where all the money goes to cure the damn thing. And I know they have the cure.
Wow. Yeah, they do. I mean, and it's in the form of, like we were saying, plant-based material. So, wow.
Whoa, what? Vince is leaving radio?
Apparently so.
Oh, Vince.
I don't know.
Well, you better stay in touch.
Yeah, stay in touch. I don't know what to say. I'm kind of feeling the same way. Believe it or not. And Jules is feeling the same way. I mean, it's just, I feel like, it's the same thing, barking in the wind. Jules was talking about it yesterday.
It's time to if you're leaving to go out and get active, good. Because, I try and do both. And I try and get involved in as much around here as I can. But, I don't know. And this gets to you, I think about it too. I think about it more and more, and as my friends are dying and stuff, I'm thinking maybe, I should get out there more. But but I do. I get out and get in marches and do all that too, though. But I don't know. This is hard, people. It is really hard to do this day in and day out.
Day in and day out. I mean, I don't even want to really talk about the headlines, and I haven't all week. It's like we've already talked about this crap like over and over and over. You know what I mean? And we talked about Ebola, we talk about the border, we talk about blah 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 blah, and it's all after a while. And yesterday I read these, we've already talked about, the government not following their own damn policies and their own freaking laws. I mean, it's just over and over and over and over and over.
Well, here we're talking to the choir is the thing, where I think we should be out more talking and waking people up with the information that we have. We do a lot of research. We have a lot of proof with us. And, instead of, we should be coming up with solutions instead of just reporting the same problems over and over and over. It's time to find some solutions.
And we've been talking about that. We've been talking about solutions to cancer in plant-based materials. Plant-based.
That's true, too.
I mean, they know about the cannabinoids in the oils. They know this shit. They know that it will stop cancer dead in its tracks. But, we can't have that, because the pharmaceutical companies can't make freaking money off of that. That's why they're patenting it, so that they can keep it down and keep it shelved and keep it, locked in the freaking bowels of the Pentagon somewhere, is like, the water-driven car, it's the same with anything else. And they keep it down industry. It's called industrial espionage is what it's called. And, they just want us sick. They want us unhealthy. They want our immune systems compromised so that we will take their little robotic nanotech chips and, brain or DNA changing proteins and, you know what I mean? With the VLPs and all this crap that we talk about all the time. I don't know. It's just we can only say the same crap over and over and over just so long. And God, you and Jules have been doing this for years, and I'm only on board for a few months, and I'm already against the wall, thinking that this is just all, what the hell is this all for? Nobody's. I don't know.
It is. It's
difficult.
It is, but then too, how else are people going to get the truth? Because, a lot more people do use alternative means to get their news. But the problem there is the alternative news is always bickering at each other. And that's what irritates me more than anything else in this whole thing is that we preach, unite, come together, but or do this or do that, and then when someone does do it, someone's got to turn on them.
Yeah, I hate that shit. I hate it, and that's why I want to run away with my hands in the air. I do, because all the backstabbing and the name calling and all the bullshit that goes along with this. It's just we're not unified, and even God, we've talked about this too ad nauseum. It's just after a while, it just gets too much, and I'm like I said, I'm totally gone out of the militia for the same damn reasons. You know what I mean?
You know what though, you can't. It's not like you're leaving the militia. You can't. It's to me like a relationship. If someone hurts you, real bad, you don't start hating all men because that you can't judge all men by what that one man did, and that's a problem we have. Even with the militia, there are good people in the militia too.
Oh, I know there are, and I've met some fine people. Fine people.
That's almost like you have to be aware, but you can't start distrusting everyone. What a miserable life.
Exactly. But I'm, and I am miserable, but you know what? All these things that have happened, and it's not even just one guy, it's a bunch of people that have failed me. Well, or failed the cause, or not even failed me, failed, what they've stood for, what they've said all these years, and then they don't step up when the time comes. And I see this shit over and over and over and over. It's ridiculous. And Lumper's in there in the chat room saying divide and conquer, and it is. It's Sun Tzu, The Art of War, you know what I mean? Divide and conquer. It's real simple.
Right. And like when people do come, like Snowden, I don't care. I think he's a hero because, you know, everyone keeps saying, well, he didn't tell us anything we didn't already know. Yeah, but he told millions of American citizens what they didn't know.
Mm-hmm.
And so, but what did we do? I seen it right away. People attacking him already. Well, he's a spy, he's this, he's that. You know what? I don't care. The man did something great. He woke up more people than we will ever wake up in our lifetime. And for that, I give him 100%. But we do that. We put, you know, somebody does something good and we'll find a reason to bring him down.
Right, yeah. I mean, that's pretty much the way the humans are. And I don't know anymore. It's not like I'm trying to throw in the towel on everything. I just feel like the support's not there. Literally, I tell all my friends, and even all my old friends, I had an opportunity to see all my old friends from high school, and I gave them all UCY cards, showed them, and, you know, sent some of them, links in the email. Do you think anybody that I know, even my best, closest friends, tune into this show to hear me? No, they don't. None of them. Not one person out there that I know personally listens to the show.
Wow.
I mean, what do you do about that? I mean, it just becomes, after a while, it just becomes, well, what the hell am I doing this shit for?
Because
my family, none of my family listens. You know what I mean? I mean, I've more than a few times I've given out links to the, Before the First Cup page and the chat room and even archives I've, given out. And I know that those don't get listened to. I know it. And it's a damn shame. It's a damn shame. And it makes me lose heart. That's why one of the reasons why I'm losing heart here. And it just sucks ass.
And see, it's gotten better for me because I've been doing this for years and preaching to people, and more people now listen because I was doing it from way back there, and then they come up and they go, wow, you were right, because they're seeing it now. Mm-hmm. And so I have quite a few friends that listen in. And, and they come over and what's up now?
See, that's really cool. That's why I was kind of after... and I give Jules when she came here to visit, she gave me a big old stack of UCY cards, and I hand those out when I go places.
Oh, I do too.
I'm going to the Renaissance Festival this weekend. I'm going to hand some out, hopefully. Mm-hmm. It just, I don't know, it just...
It's taken me years for people to listen, but you have to realize that your friends and your family are always going to be the hardest to convince.
Right.
Always.
Well, here's the thing. People that I know that are completely awake just like us, those people aren't even listening. So, I mean, really, that's what gives me heartburn. That right there, my best friends actually, listen, I think one of the first few times that I was on air and Jules was talking about something he disagreed with, and he just turned it off and never listened to it again. I'm like, look, dude, I mean, come on. It's not like that all the time. She doesn't, sit there and talk about I don't remember what the hell it was either. And I'm just like, look, we talk about something different every day almost. Well, not really, but we try. I mean, at least we try and keep up on what's happening out there.
Yeah, at least get the truth of things going on, or make people at least think about other than what the TV saying, wow, maybe this, bringing up the fact that we created Ebola and how did it get to Africa? Most people have not a clue. They're not saying in the news that it was created here.
Exactly. Exactly.
And so we do, and things that you learn, they are getting put on Facebook, and I do see a lot of things. People comments. I usually go in to read the comments. I don't see any personal on there, but I post a lot there, and I get a lot of responses. So that's a good thing too.
Wow.
Yeah. So, any means to make people think.
Yeah.
I mean, no matter what it is, just, if you give them enough reasons to think, most people will come around, but it takes a while. The people aren't just going to listen hear one thing, they'll go, oh, I'm on board. It's a combination of things starting to happen. Like now, a lot of people are awake that weren't awake because the jobs, the health insurance, and they're seeing all this now. And so it's building up. Something that you told somebody a year ago, it might just now they'll think back and go, wow, that's what she was talking about.
Sure.
There's where it comes from,
Yeah.
And everybody's got a cause, but, you pick your main cause, but you still can't just eliminate everything else that's going on.
Yep, absolutely.
And start local. I can't stress that enough. If we can't fix our local government, how in the hell do we ever think we're going to fix the government of the country? Well,
I don't think that I gave everybody an update on my friend who was running for treasurer.
Yeah, what happened with her?
She didn't win. She lost. It was fair and square.
Mm-hmm.
But the neat thing is that on Tuesday night they went to the city council meeting, and she was going to file a FOIA request for putting making their books public, which is actually a law on the books stating that city council has to make the books accessible for public, viewing.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they were like, saying that, you have to pay a fee in order to see those books. You know what I mean? And and she absolutely made a big freaking stink about this. And so what ended up happening was they published some of that information, and they gave it out at the city council meeting as people walked in. And so, because my friend said, I'm going to make sure that they're following the law here, they actually,
I bet she learned a lot in running.
She really did learn a lot, but progress was obviously made because they immediately are starting to publish some of these things that are in their books. Checks that were written out, blah, blah, blah. And damn it, so some progress was made by just her, running for office. Not, even though she didn't win, she made a dent in the
and
community.
She'll continue to do that because of the knowledge she gained by doing it. And like we're lucky here. We have the Brown Act, and that is our city officials cannot discuss anything behind closed doors.
That's cool. That's
except
a good act.
when they're in negotiations. If we're going to buy some land or something, they can do that behind closed doors. But that's it. They have to come out and tell us what inspired. They everything is so transparent in this here. It's amazing. But there's no deals done behind closed doors. Everything. Their whole discussion, when they're going to vote, everything is done right there in front of people.
Yeah.
It's called the Brown Act.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I don't see why every city doesn't have that, because you're paying for all this.
Shit, every city, freak. What about the freaking federal government, man? They should have that act.
But if you don't get your local government under control, like I said, how do you ever expect to get the federal government under control?
That's correct. That's absolutely correct. You got to start small.
And they learn to be corrupt in the lower,
That's right, the lower echelons. That's right.
Right. And as they move up, they can be more corrupted, get rid of lobbying and stuff like that, and limits. Everything should have limits. I don't care.
Limits. Oh my God, we need term limits.
Local government all the way up.
Yes, God, we
Yeah.
need term limits so bad. It's
I
not.
mean, why isn't there term limits in Congress? I mean,
There
the
needs to
president only gets to be there so many times.
Right.
Right.
There
And if there
absolutely-
isn't someone to run in that position isn't needed.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. I mean, someone's always going to run. Someone will always run as like a write-in or whatever, you know. But
Not always. Like here in California, Feinstein didn't have anyone run against her for years
see what's up with that.
because they think she's just going to win. In the beginning, Feinstein did a great job, but it wasn't. Oh, just a few years down.
She was
the
always
line,
anti-gun, though.
Well, yeah, that. But other than that, though, she did a lot for San Francisco. She did, and that was her job. But then you could just watch as the corruption came on, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I am getting letters from her all the time because I've been writing her more than usual.
Uh-oh. What's
You
she
know,
threatening you? Stop
Oh, no,
writing me
no.
letters.
she tries to, you know, I get usually form letters and I usually respond with, that's a friggin' lie. And, you know, what are you doing in office? Your husband's so corrupt buying up California.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, her letters, they cracked me up. It was about, now her form letter though never changed about the NSA and it's a good thing and everything. Even when she's up there in Congress saying all these bad things about them because they spied on their committee, she's still sending out letters that they're just the greatest. I wrote her that she's a hypocrite.
Oh my God, that's. Oh my God, you might get a knock on your door sometime.
Oh, I think as soon as they see who it's from, it gets thrown in the trash. I doubt if she can see them anymore.
Even get read anymore?
Nope. I call, I send her, you know. And I mean, I know it's kind of a waste of time because they're so corrupt. They don't, you know.
They don't listen to their constituents.
No, they don't.
I get these things from like, I mean, I don't know. I get these things saying, call your congressman right now because this bill's getting ready to pass.
Yeah.
But it doesn't do any damn bit of good.
Right, the lobbyists have already paid them off.
Yeah, exactly. It doesn't matter how many times or how many people call into their local congressman or local senator. It doesn't matter because, you know, they just do what they want anyway, regardless of how many people call.
That reminds me of an argument I did have with Feinstein, and it was over some, I can't even remember what it was about, but we were on the phone for a while, and she's saying, I'll take this into advisement, but, you know, I feel, and I went, and I told her, you know what, I don't give a rat's ass what you feel. It isn't about how you feel. It's what the citizens want.
Person?
Right.
You did?
Yeah.
That's almost literally impossible.
No, you get put on hold quite a while. But, you know.
But you actually got through?
Uh-huh. To Boxer, too, you can get through to quite a few. You get through to the secretary, and getting past her is kind of hard sometimes, but, you know, you can fake it and stuff, too. Just to get past her. But we had a big argument, you know. She goes, I know what's best for California. And I go, you mean you're not in there to do what we want? If we let you know what we want, you're going to go ahead and do what you want? Is that what this is all about? And we went on, but finally she got mad and hung up on me.
Oh, she got mad and hung up, huh?
Yeah.
I am freaking shocked that they didn't come after you.
Why? I mean, you know,
that's what they do.
They
bother.
They put out fear. You know, yeah, they do to some people, but you know what? What, is it going to shut you up? No, obviously you wouldn't be on the radio. I've never had them come after me for disagreement, and I've been doing marches since I was in college. So.
Well, typically, I mean, if you're really a thorn in one of their sides, constantly, they'll target an individual. You know what I mean?
Well, I'm sure I'm not the only one, hon. There are so many people disgruntled by Feinstein. This is her last year. I mean, she's not running again, she says.
Oh,
I guess her husband's already bought up all the land that they need.
Oh, my God. So her term will be up in 2016?
I think so, yeah.
Oh, thank God for you guys, man.
Yeah, and all that land, the
Oh.
farmlands and stuff that they aren't being able to plant, and they're losing all their land. Feinstein's husband and brother are buying it up for pennies on the dollar.
That's what they always do. I mean, this is exactly what they did in the 30s when the stock market crashed. They...
Yep. Even before that, in the rancher days and stuff, when there'd be a drought,
Yes.
what were they called? Scalpers, I think, that would go around and give them pennies on the dollar for their land.
That's right. That's right, and people were so desperate they would take it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Here, I mean, people, if you can't plant, if you can't grow, if you can't produce, and that's what you do, and you're sitting on land that you there's no water to plant, you go bankrupt, and so you take whatever you can just to be able to survive. And
absolutely. And then what happens is that the assholes that ended up buying the land know that, like, within 5-10 years' time, that situation's going to change. You know what I mean? So
the land will be perfect for GMO growth.
Yeah, that's right.
And they have an inside. They knew that all this was going to, the drought.
That's right.
Land was going to go bad. And then for her husband and brother to be buying up so much land, it's, it's like Reed in Nevada. Making deals with China to, selling our land to another country, and then he's still in office. How's that possible?
Right. And meanwhile, his son is buying freaking oil wells and shit in the Ukraine.
And working for the Chinese.
He's working for the Chinese, and they're actively destabilizing that region. I mean, it's just sick, and it goes on and on and on and on and on. It makes me want to puke.
Yeah. I don't know. They're so they're out there now. I mean, they're not even trying to hide it, and people still don't see it. They have been so brainwashed, they can't see it.
Well,
it's out in front of them.
It's the disease of apathy, and apathy is definitely a disease. But they'll never say that.
Lack of empathy.
Yeah, lack of empathy.
Yeah, you can't put yourself in someone else's position.
Mm-hmm.
I've never had a lack of that. I've always...
I live my life like that. I absolutely do. I like, what if I'm in that guy in the wheelchair shoes? Put myself in that dude's shoes for a minute. You know what I mean? I constantly think like that.
I do too. And I tell other people to do that. I mean, when they start ragging about somebody or something, I go, hey, what if you were that person and you were innocent? Hey.
Yeah.
It's a thought. Just because you see it in social media or you heard it through someone doesn't make it true.
Oh my God. That's why I hate Facebook and I hate Twithead and I can't stand all the social media bullcrap because it just... I was just thinking about this morning. A lot of people, when, like, my friend from high school died, were like, you know, I mean, so what? The dude found Jesus and became religious. Who gives a crack? But the thing is, he got mad at a lot of people that he used to be friends with because they weren't, they didn't accept Jesus in their lives. So he cut them all off. And it's just this social media thing, this Facebook crap. People put stuff on their pages and piss other people off. And I think it's just and it's supposed to, like, bring people together. No, I think it's more of a divisive tool.
Well, different people use it for different means, though. Like on mine, I never see any personal stuff. I post things, and it goes. I have over 200 people that follow me, and I get response. I never put anything personal there, you know. And the people who read it, a lot of times I get thank yous because it was something they didn't know or they had never seen before. I don't pay attention to the personal stuff. I don't read, It's according to what kind of, I don't know. See, mine is all geared for what we do here and informing people and putting up videos that would teach.
Mm-hmm.
But I could, go off in some other direction and be in there saying what I do every single day.
Right.
But I fought Facebook for a long time, but I've learned a lot, too, from things on there like I just learned a lot by watching videos that other people are posted,
Right.
So, and so what? they're spying. Well, they are anyway. I mean, we're on the radio. They know everything about us.
Well, it goes farther than spying. It's actually building psychological algorithms so that they can predict, what you're going to say, what you're going to do, what you're going to buy, what the hell you're going to eat. I know this young teenager, she's 16, and she's so hung up on food and stuff, she takes a picture of her food before she eats everything and puts it on. Why? What the hell is the deal with that?
I don't know. That's why I always throw wrenches in there to make them take a left turn. You know, I'll be going one way and all of a sudden, go the other way.
Yeah, we were sitting in a freaking restaurant, it was actually this, little bar up the street from me, and we were just eating bar burgers or whatever, nothing special. She takes a picture of it and posts it on her Facebook page. I'm just like, what the hell did you just do that for? What is the freaking purpose of that? I always take pictures of my food. I'm like,
I bet her following, or the groups that she's in, are also into foods and do the same thing.
Yeah, man, it's just ridiculous.
I found this one picture, and I love it. I put it on my screen desktop. But it's a bar, and it says, sorry, no Wi-Fi, put your phone away, and talk to each other and get drunk.
That's funny. That's a good one.
Yeah, it is. We've gone too far that way. I agree. That's why I make myself get up and get away from the computer every single day and give it for hours. I talk to people because I see too much of that. People sitting on the bus stop and they're not looking or talking. They're just down with their fingers.
Yeah. Exactly. And people put those memes or whatever the hell they are on their Facebook page, and somebody gets pissed off and offended by what was said, and then bam, you're losing your friends, and people get pissed off, and I'm never going to talk to this fool again, and I don't know. But
are they really your friends? A lot of them you've never met in person, and if you died tomorrow, they would just go on. They don't know you.
Right, exactly. Would they come to your funeral? I mean,
no.
Realistically, honest.
I tell people, take a real look in the evening. Are you sitting behind a computer talking to friends that you met online, or are you talking to a real life physical person?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
You're not talking to a real life a real life person, or how many real life people did you speak to today?
Right. That's why I will not mess with dating sites or any of that other garbage.
Now that's funny though, because my daughter met her husband through a dating service.
I know a lot of people that got married and stuff looking, meeting on dating services, but I just don't. I would rather.
She was too busy. She was a career woman and had all this going on and didn't have time to date. And he's a wonderful guy. It was made in paradise. Perfect to this day. Yeah. But I've never gone for dating things either. But
yeah, just I don't know, man. One of the Hutari guys had was on a dating site, right? And the news and the media totally jumped on that bandwagon and totally exploited this guy because he said his ideal first date was an armed march on Washington, which I thought was kick-ass.
I thought that was cool. Yeah.
But, the media dug that shit up and had a freaking field day with it.
Yeah, that's true, too.
So, it just, I don't know.
It's hard for me because I've been into computers for over 20 years. That was what I did. That's what I still do. And I used to have everything when it first came out. I was so into it, but I've seen that there has to be a balance in your life. If you're sitting behind that computer all day long, or if you haven't left the room but wants to go to the bathroom, then you have a problem and you need to work on it.
There's something wrong. Yeah, it's true. And there's people that just sit there from the time they wake up until
they go to sleep.
4 in the morning, and then they'll go to sleep. You know what I mean? And then they get a couple hours sleep, and they're right back on that computer. Doing the same shit, saying the same shit, and it's just
every night before I go to bed, I ask myself, how many people did you talk to today? In real life. I do that. And if I come up with 2 or 3, I'm not. I have to get away from the computer more.
Well, they're setting this mindset up through like the computer and through like video games and things like that to just be friends with this artificial intelligence and to make artificial intelligence your companion.
Instead of people. Yeah.
And they've got this freaking commercial out there that has a robot, a guy that's a robot, and he stumbles, he's wearing Old Spice or whatever, and he stumbles over a lady sunbathing, and she gets one whiff of this freaking robot, and it's like, oh, you can stay here. Ooh, you don't have to get up and off of me and move. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like this weird, subtle bullshit that they're planning, oh yeah, having sex with robots is going to be perfectly acceptable. You know what I mean?
That was a movie here recently, huh?
Yeah, and they're putting it in commercials, they're putting that shit in movies, they're putting that shit in every facet of society, and it's just going to become acceptable. Yeah,
this one, what was the name? Was it a documentary or a movie where this guy just totally fell in love with this, well, it was in his cell phone, and he talked to it and everything, and he took it on picnics with his friends, and she talked to him, this computer through his phone, they could hear her, and then he started to notice she wasn't answering right away, and then he asked her, are you talking to other people? And she said, well, only a couple thousand. And they were all falling in love. And then he talked to a friend of his, and they had a computer lover also. And then all of a sudden, one day, all of them were gone, and all these people were walking around just lost.
See? That's sick and freaking twisted. This is exactly, they're paving the way for this, for our future. And
I wish I could remember the name of that. It was recently that I watched it.
And it's sickening. Sick. What a sick idea. I mean, and there's going to be so many, like, lonely men out there that will just go and buy the sex bot, you know what I mean, and never go out of their house.
Well, women too. I mean, companions. A lot of people, as you get older, friends die, and you're left by yourself, and you're lonely. And shit. It's.
I mean, if you're lonely, go to a bar, or go to a church, or go out and
people have been
a car show. Shit, I'm going to the restaurant.
Designed to not, like, people won't go eat in a restaurant by themselves. They won't go to a bar. I will too, but
all by myself all the time and eat all by myself all the time. I don't have any freaking problem with it. And I don't care if anybody looks at me. I don't give a crap about that.
Right.
I'm going to the Renaissance Festival by myself this weekend. I don't give a crap if anybody says hi to me or boo to me. It doesn't matter to me. I'm going to go, and guess what? I'm having a freaking good time. I don't care what anybody else says. You know what I mean? Nobody has that attitude anymore. At all.
Well, because we take their self-esteem away in school.
Mm-hmm.
You have to teach everyone else. And it's embedded into them mostly. Well, it starts at school age.
Yeah.
It's like my daughter, when we would be in a restaurant or something, she wanted to know where the bathroom was. I'd say, well, go ask. How would I know? I don't know. You're going to have to go ask the waitress where it is. I made her go for herself and ask for things, or this and that. I started when she was very young. If you need to know or have some information, don't be afraid to go and ask someone.
That's right. Absolutely. People don't. Now it's like, ask the computer, ask Google.
Get on your GPS and find out where you're at and where you're going.
Right. Yeah, I mean, nobody knows how. No one's gonna know how to get anywhere anymore. If you don't have the GPS on, my God, I can't. I'm lost. I don't know. Nobody's gonna know north, south, east, and west. Nobody's gonna even know which way the frickin' sun rises and sets. Anymore. I mean, people are just gonna be just dependent, wired into the matrix. You know what I mean? That's what this is. They're trying to get everybody wired in, and it's working. It's
yeah, and I have to admit, on our trip to Texas and over to the Bundy Ranch, we had to use her GPS in her phone a few times because the directions were confusing, and we didn't know where we were. And but we had a map, but the map was like 20 years old, and the roads weren't the same.
Right.
Yeah, so, but I don't depend on it all the time. I don't have one of those phones, and my GPS is the first one that came out. There's no loading it in the computer or anything. I can just go places and waypoint it and get back to that place.
Right.
And it tells me how fast I'm going, but, it still depends on satellites.
I mean, what happened to, like basic Boy Scout skills where, in Boy Scouts, they teach these kids to use a compass and use a map.
Mm-hmm. Well, I have no sense of direction. A compass always confuses me because, I don't know, it's always pointing north, but when I turn, it seems, I don't know. I know all the things. You know what finally got me to where I can go out in the woods is my GPS, and I look behind me often. Because when you're going one way, when you come back, it looks altogether different. I finally figured that out.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
So you have to look, if you don't have a sense of direction, constantly be looking back. Every 2-3 minutes, just take a glance back, and then it'll look familiar to you.
On the way back.
Mm-hmm. That's a good one if you're out in the woods, because it's easy to get to the top of a mountain and not know which way you came up.
Well, that's for sure. Absolutely. And it's easy to get lost in the woods. I got lost in a tiny little woods once.
Especially if you haven't got a sense of direction. And a lot of people, me and my roommate both, neither one of us do. So trips are really fun.
We've got this little forest that's here in Michigan. It's actually called the Black Forest, and I guess when you get into the middle of this thing, the compass spins around because there's some kind of magnetic field in the middle of this forest.
Boy.
Yeah, and I don't know, that would be a really scary place to get lost in. I'll tell you that right now.
Yeah, I remember when I was, I was only about 12, I think. Me and my friend, we went camping, and we climbed up to the top of this mountain, up on this mountain, and we were messing around up there, and then we couldn't remember which way we came up. Ooh. And she was saying this way, and I was saying that way, and we luckily picked the right way because it was getting dark, but we just as easily could have
picked the wrong way.
Yeah.
Wow. And there's a lot of people that get lost in the woods like that. Lots and lots and lots.
So you have to learn little tricks or if you don't have a sense of direction. Yeah. Because I can get off the freeway and get gas and then get back on and feel like I'm going the wrong way.
Yeah, I've done that before.
Yeah, but I mean, you say north to me and I have not a clue.
Shit, I did that.
I'm home. Then I know the Mount Shasta is north. And then I can figure out the rest. But if I'm not at home, I have no clue what way is what.
Right. I did that not too long ago. I got gas and I got on the wrong way on the highway. I did it last month, I think. A couple weeks.
Yeah, and if you don't know the road, I mean, then all of a sudden you're seeing, didn't I pass that?
Right. I'm like, shit, which way am I going? Oh, I had to get off and turn around, go back. That was Detroit.
Oh, yeah, but yeah, I mean, when I'm home, I can tell. But it's strange, I think it's hard for people that have a good sense of direction to understand the lost feeling of not. Especially when people say, you go here, go east, and then go down so far, then turn west.
Right.
And I'm looking at them going, okay, can we go back to left and right, please?
Yeah, simple left and right will do. Yeah, I'm kind of like that, too. Yeah. Believe it or not. Oh, my goodness. Wow, we've only got 15 minutes and we haven't covered any news at all this week, hardly. I'm kind of glad. I feel like that's kind of an achievement in a way.
Yeah,
I mean, really,
it's just so much, and I don't know, other things we can't. It's not just what's in the news that matters. It's what's affecting us in our lives. I'm sure what's affecting us is affecting others.
Mm-hmm.
It's not just headlines.
Right.
And
it's true. It's true. Yeah. And really, the headlines seem all to just run.
It's all the same around and around. You're right. And we're just, and now have you noticed that there isn't anything about the border, even though all the people are still flooding in?
Yeah. Well, there is. I mean, on certain news sites, there is still.
I
read some
find
shit
hardly
yesterday.
anything.
I read stuff yesterday.
But, I mean, that's one thing. You got to keep bringing these things up even after they leave the headlines because they're not over just because they're not in the headlines.
Right. That's important, too. Don't let it go down the memory hole.
Mm-hmm.
We try not to do that here, but then it just, it's like so I don't know. I think, Jules is going to start to automate everything, soon, and,
oh yeah, and we're going to be rebroads next week.
Yeah, all next week is going to be rebroads, because she's still in her vacation spot. I'm going on vacation, and you can sleep in. So it's going to be rebroads all next week, and I'm looking forward to I'm not going to even bring my computer up there, dude. I'm just leaving it all here.
Yeah, it is a good feeling, and I was surprised because usually I miss it. I had a laptop with me, but I only hooked up we went to Starbucks, and I only got online once the whole time I was gone, and I really didn't miss it.
Yeah. I try real hard to, when the show's over, I gotta go to work anyway, like I do today, and, I try to not, get on it too much.
Yeah, and the evenings I get on it now.
There's nothing wrong with it. We're not saying that there's anything wrong with being on the computer all the time, but it's just,
But if you can get out.
Yeah, man, stop and get some sun on your skin and smell some freaking roses or something. Shit.
But you need your vitamin D. You can't just get it out of a bottle.
Nope, that's right. Absolutely. Oh,
okay.
Gosh.
Oh. It's almost over, and then I get to go buy some food at the farmer's market. I love my farmer's market.
Yay! Our farmer's market doesn't start till 4 in the afternoon here.
Oh, ours will be going, I think they start at 7. Because it gets so hot here, they have to do it early.
Oh, that makes total sense.
And then the one up in Redding, it's a big, big one. I mean, they have bands out there, and they have all kinds of stuff.
That sounds like fun.
Oh, yeah, it's Thursday night. It's like on a boardwalk thing up there. And there's a lot going on, a lot of crafts and stuff, where down here it's just food.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
I love farmers markets. And, it's just the best freaking way to support your local farmer. I mean, it's just the best way. And they have the best eggs and...
I'm noticing, though, their prices, like last week, their prices are starting to really jump. I can understand... Why? Because it's costing more to keep because they all have to be certified organic,
right?
And and so I can understand it, but I don't know. The prices shouldn't be jumping as fast as they are. But then I think, no farmers are planting down south, and they're cutting off their water. So
yeah, well, that's another reason we were just talking about the beginning of the show. Especially where you are, prices are just going to skyrocket.
Well, we supplied the food for over half of this country.
Yeah, see?
Yeah.
So right now, you're feeling it now with the price raising, with the raised prices, and it's just going to be just like a wave going across we haven't really felt that here yet, even though it's slowly inching their way. And a lot of what...
Now it's harvest. It's just now becoming harvest time. And now it's not being harvested.
Right. And then in the winter, I think, is when we're going to feel this big old slap in the face, is this winter.
And I learned something, too, when I went up to Costco to get ice chest. And they're trying to go organic. And Do you know organic, for them to be able to put organic on their label, it only has to be grown within 50 miles of their distribution center. So that means if their distribution center is in a state away from you, that's where it to say organic, and then you have to figure if they pick it from there and then ship it all the way out, it's going to go rotten real quick.
Bizarre.
Isn't that trip? I didn't know, I mean, the one thing, if it is USDA and it's stamped on there, there isn't any GMOs in there. That's the only thing you can be sure of, but you can't be positive there's no pesticides or if it was grown local. If they can say local grown. I'm sorry, not organic.
Yeah, I was going to say, what?
Yeah, they call it local grown if it's grown within 50 miles of their distribution center. It doesn't mean it was grown local here.
Oh, I see what you're saying, right.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was shocked because I thought when they put, in my health food store, when they put local, because they keep it separated from what they get shipped in from organic farms to the farmers here that grow it. Right. And so you can buy either one. But I love it. They're all turning completely organic. And no plastic bags anymore allowed in the store. They're just really going gung-ho. I just... I feel so fortunate.
Everybody is, voting.
Yeah, I know, and I keep telling people, look, we're winning. The pocketbook works.
There's the local grocery stores here that used to be, the mainline, mainstream grocery stores. They're putting in giant organic sections in their stores now, and it's frankly, I'm glad to see it because. People are getting sick and tired of eating garbage.
And the reason you're seeing it, I mean, it just wasn't out of the goodness of their heart. People weren't buying their food anymore.
Right.
And that's what I mean by you win by your pocketbook. That's why more and more stores are carrying organic and people are saying, hey, I'm tired of this. I want some food that's going to make me healthy.
Right. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I went to eat at a restaurant the other night and with my friends and within an hour, within 45 minutes, I was getting that MSG headache.
Oh yeah.
It was a Mexican restaurant. I mean, why are they putting freaking MSG in their crap?
Because their food doesn't have any taste because it's not real.
Right. Well, this is like a high-end, trendy restaurant. It was like all hip and trendy and avocado and everything. And, ooh, look, there's...
How much of it was GMO, you don't know.
See, exactly. And we were just talking about that.
Meat or, I haven't been able... The only place I've been able to eat out is at the Savory Spoon, and that's the one that once a week they... take away the menus with the prices and pay whatever you can that day.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, 100% organic. They make everything from scratch. And that's the only place I'll eat out.
Yeah, that's exactly it.
You walk in there and the atmosphere is just so, you can feel the energy. The food smells so good. People are talking to each other from table to table. Yes. And you don't see that in any other restaurant around here.
Right. That's a sad deal. Sad state of affairs. I don't know, man.
Awesome. And because they give back to people, they really, really care about people, and it comes through.
Yeah, and people will support that. You know what I mean? People will bring more people into their establishment.
Yeah, people that care, and people that care about eating good food, and you can smell it. I can't go to a McDonald's. I get close to it and I want to throw up.
I haven't eaten McDonald's in years. Years.
It doesn't smell like food.
No, it's not. It's got like freaking plastics in it and crap.
Well, we all have plastic in our system. Did you know that?
Oh yeah, God. Oh, it's so horrid. Horrid. It's just nasty and terrible. I can't even. And people like put it on in their makeup and. Little plastic beads. Remember we?
Oh yeah, that you scrub with on your face. Yeah.
Oh my God! I just ordered like my 4 years of Cal-Ben soaps, which is all pure soap. I can't use anything else really. other than this soap because it's the cleanest, best. Like it just a little goes a long way. I don't have to use a whole lot, and it's so far it's just the best soap that I've found. Hands down.
I have organic soap, and but I don't really use soap. I use I can't even think of the name of it now, but it's completely biodegradable. You can do everything with it, but I get the peppermint and I scrub down with it. But as far as I don't go to regular stores.
What, the Dr. Bronner's peppermint soap?
Huh?
You buy the Dr. Bronner's peppermint soap?
It's not Dr. Bronner's. I've used this stuff for years and years and years, and I can't bring the name up. But it's all organic, made with herbs and stuff, and it's been in the family business for a long time. I just can't. I can't. They have it in all kinds of different, like hemp and spearmint and all kinds of different brands. But anyway, it's really good. And I brush my teeth with baking soda and peroxide, and I haven't been, other than going up there to Costco to get that, I haven't been in a regular store to buy anything. I don't trust any of it.
Yeah, me neither. I always go into the specialty stores around here, and
I feel sorry for people that don't have a good health food store or any way to get there. You know,
Ann Arbor's like such a liberal, progressive place that there's these co-ops everywhere, and
that's where that guy was from that they ran their mayor or whatever across the bridge. He's a preacher guy. Oh, I can't, but it was one of my favorite videos, and we talked about it on the show too. I can't remember his name, but that mayor or whatever was running away from the people coming across the bridge, and they had fired all the teachers. They hired them all back the next day.
Oh yeah, I think I remember that.
Yeah, I loved it, man. He's going, see what you can do when you get people together and get them riled.
There you go. See?
Yeah.
That's what happens. Well, we're at the end of the show. Thank you, Zori, for being here with me.
Thank you.
Maybe we can do the same thing tomorrow, and
sure.
Cool.
Okay. And we'll try and hit up a little. Well, maybe we won't. I don't know.
Who knows?
We never know.
We'll just, wherever it takes us, man. I don't know. Plus, you never know what happens in the real world or whatever. Maybe there will be something else that'll happen that we'll talk about for the next 3 months. Who knows? Who knows? Well, stay tuned to UCY.TV for more awesome programming. Up next is Post Ignorant with Kevin Blanche, guys. And then at 1 is The Edge with John Stokes. At 3 is The Jack Blood Show. And then at 6 is The Ocelli Effect with Chuck Ocelli. And then at 8 is What Matters Worldwide with Vince. And Vince has an announcement to make, apparently. And my heart's a little heavy. But at 10, we got Double Cross Radio, and then at 11 is another replay. So stay tuned to UCY.TV. Try and check out all their sponsors, and thank you again, Zori.
Thank you guys for hanging with us. Bye.
Yes. Bye.